Welcome back, friends, to another Age Mythology video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some information from an interview done with a couple of the team members working on Age of Mythology Retold. Some very cool, very exciting information was dropped in this interview, and I'm just going to be showing you some of these segments and some never seen before footage, obviously seen within the interview, but priorly to the interview, never seen before, to illustrate these different changes. And I'm also going to put the link to this interview, the full link, in the description, in the comments section of this video, as well as the timestamp, because the full interview has 2 games showcased. So I'm going to give you the timestamp to go right to the actual part of the interview that begins to talk about Age of Mythology Retold. So let's crack right into it.
And we are now taking all those learnings and applying them to both the PC and the Xbox version of Age of Mythology Retold. So for example, in the console version, one of the innovations that we did is what we call the villager priority system. So what that does is, so once you can actually set what the villagers do. So they can actually go take care of some of those tasks for you. So for example, you want some of them to go to go get the food, some of them to go get the wood, so and they will go do that for you. So you can concentrate on building units to go battle, etc. So that really take the level of complexity down, so to actually make it, but you are still in control, because strategically you are still making the decisions on how you actually want those villagers to actually be applied to different resources. But you get to control it in a way that's much easier, simpler for you. The other, for example, similar thing is still what we call the site menu system. So you see wood, since we talk about like getting villagers to get the wood. So intuitively, why do you need to go through, pick the villager and then build house and do those, like you say, it takes an hour to learn sometimes, right? What you can now do is you see wood, just click on it and then say like, hey, I want someone here to collect this wood. And then the villager will actually come, build a camp and actually collect those. Just makes it way smoother and easier, especially to help a lot of new people coming to enjoy LTS with us.
And it comes with some great presets as well. So if you,
it's amazing.
You know, your priorities are going to be different in the first age of the game as you're sort of establishing your economy, and you can just be like, I want the age 1 preset. Go ahead, build my economy whilst I go and figure out.
Oh my god, that's so nice.
Yeah. And again, if you're a pro player and you don't need that, you don't have to use it, but the system is there to help you get started.
Yeah. Oh, that is so handy, because sometimes resource management takes so long to set up. And then I don't know if it's just me, but I will sit there and sometimes watch. I'm like, did I do it right? Am I getting the right stuff? That's magic.
Exciting. What does this mean? It means more autonomy within your economy, so you can focus more on the really, really fun stuff, which are raids, fights, and building up your military production, putting more of an emphasis on that and less so on the economy. I don't think it's going to be completely streamlined where you just, okay, preset this, preset that, tap that, and then, everything's fucking doing it for me. There's still going to be management of economy, but this just seems like a nice quality of life change. Not only for, regular players, veteran players, but also for new players coming in, just making their life easier and making that transition from what the fuck am I doing? This is a brand new experience for me. I've never played this game before, or maybe I'm returning. I messed around with it as a kid, but didn't really get too heavily into it in a competitive sense. Helping them get onto the ground running and making that transition from, what am I doing to, okay, I'm getting the hang of things, more smooth. I love that. I love that. This is both a quality of life, make your life easier for veteran pro players and also for the newer players. Super excited about this change.
I want to give props to all our programmers team as well. So as you see, the game looks way better. We now support ray tracing. We have sharp shadows that we are now supporting now, which is fantastic. We have new particle system. That's how you get a lot of the new effects in the game. So they did an amazing job. So
yeah, and Jen was saying it's beautiful. It is beautiful, and you can see the distinct architecture for each pantheon and each culture, different biomes. If you've seen any of the screenshots that we've put out so far, you've got snow when you play as the Norse, and it just looks so good. And then, as I said, it's a little disappointing then when you destroy it, but there's some beauty in that, but it's also fun.
It just means you have to go back and do it again.
Yeah.
Oh no! Twist my arms more. I will say your fan base is so passionate.
Oh, gosh,
Because I
yeah.
wanted to do a bunch of research before this weekend.
Yeah.
And so there was, I think, like an hour-long or 45-minute video of someone analyzing screenshots.
Oh, yeah.
And just looking at, like, this is this character, I think this is this, like, and the excitement and the
yeah.
enthusiasm and the passion. Like, I was excited before, and now I'm even more excited because seeing how the fans have reacted to what you've shown them so far and what they're going to react to today.
Yeah.
They're the beating heart of the
Yes.
franchise. That's why we've been going for 27 years this year. You know, the fans have kept the franchise going. And we've brought them on side with us. You know, we have a player council who've been helping to build Retold with us, who are fans of the original game, who know what it should feel like and look like and sound like and play like. And we still want that feeling of the original as we bring Retold to life. And they've been helping us shape that, telling us what works and telling us what doesn't and how we can make it better. So they're very much a part of the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll say like for World's Edge, right? For all our titles, our fans that have been with us for so long now, they know we really do care about the community a lot. I've now met fans that talk about like, oh, I'm now teaching my kids how to play this game, and so
Yeah,
it's
we've
now
seen that.
cross-generational. So it is amazing.
Yeah, parents playing with kids. During lockdown, we had people homeschooling history with Age of Empires games.
No
when the
way!
schools are shut. And, you know, people who've gone in and become history teachers because they learned history from the game. So we are very lucky to do what we do. And we are well aware that we're in a very wonderful position. We're very grateful.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but I feel like all week we've been hearing from developers who, again, like that connection with the community is super important. So I won't belabor it anymore, but it is great to hear that fans and players around the world can
We'll keep
connect.
mentioning it.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Give it a shout out to
They're
the
the
players.
heartbeat of what we do. So.
Yeah. So one thing I've always had a question on, and I'm glad that you two are here to kind of clear this up for me. So how does a retold title like this differ from something like a definitive edition title? What is the specific difference?
Good question.
Okay, so I work on all the definitive editions so far, so I can definitely say that the goal for the definitive edition is like the definitive edition. We try to build the awesome game that people remembered so that they are updated with like new graphics or new way of playing the game to make sure that you really get to play the game that's in your head, that exactly how you remembered
That you remember.
Yeah.
but not exactly how it really was. So, but like that is the game that we want to build. So, but for Retold, we do everything that we have been doing for different editions, but we go beyond that. We are actually going to add new mechanics, new features in the game. So it's not just about preservation. We are going to like add new ideas and new game to really. Because I think we're lucky enough that at 2024 we finally have hardware that can do this concept really the justice it deserved. So it is fantastic. We get to add some new features that that people will really like. So yeah, going beyond all those.
I do want to go back to what you said a little bit now on the idea of games looking now like we thought they looked back then.
Yeah.
Because that is something that I have just discovered so recently, but I'm like, wow, to me on the CRT TV, this looked amazing. And then you go back and you play and you're like, oh,
You play and you go, oh.
yikes. Okay,
Oh,
that's not
okay.
quite what
No,
it looked
right?
like. Yeah.
Yes.
And so I hear you brought a few images to really showcase to players who are viewing this the difference and really that jump.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk through those.
Yeah. So the first one that we're going to show, so this is a screenshot from a campaign mission from 2002. So again, envision it on that CRT monitor in your, I don't know, the PC room at your university.
640x4.
Yeah. Take yourself back to 2002.
Yeah.
And this is what it looks
Incredible.
like in Retold.
Oh my
so this is the same shot from the same mission. It's the first mission of the campaign. And you can see the difference.
Yeah, the level of detail in the water, obviously the ripples in the water and additional foliage and trees and just that added level of detail. So you all really went deep in.
Oh, yeah. The art team, basically everything has been redone, reimagined, retold, if you will.
Oh,
And a friendly kraken.
Oh,
Is,
well,
is he shaking his hand? Like I can't.
It's not friendly, yeah.
Not quite friendly.
I mean, it looks
quite.
like they're shaking hand. Am I wrong? It looks like they're shaking.
It's nice that it looks
Sure.
that way. I wouldn't necessarily say you're gonna have to play to find out. Maybe play to
it's
find
a
out.
friend.
Well, his name is George now, and he looks really friendly to me. I'm open to being wrong. It kind of sounds
There
like
we go.
I
I
am,
mean,
but
that's canon now.
this
right?
is my truth.
Yeah, sure.
This is my
Sounds good.
truth.
Yeah. But we're going to take a look at some units as well. So this is an Atlantean Titan. So you can see on the left, 2002 looks great.
good. It looks great.
Yeah.
Retold looks better.
Greater.
Yeah, greater. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Like you can tell he's made out of magma.
Yeah, he's had a glow up and
Like
Nice.
literal
Nice.
glowing with the
Because he's
particle
low.
effects.
Right.
Yeah, so he looks great.
Yeah.
We can take a look at some of the building
Destruction,
destruction
yeah.
animations, so you can see the original, and then coming through to Retold. Our art director Melinda does a great. She also does an action and a sound for like the original versus Retold. And you can see, the building gets impacted and it just sort of drops.
Yeah.
And then here we've added the particle effect. It crumbles. You've got
The
all the
smoke.
the dust as
Yeah,
it
dust, yeah.
and sometimes watching the buildings get destroyed is actually one of my favorite parts in our games, actually, because it's done so
Just
beautifully.
destroyed beauty.
Kind of cathartic, right?
I mean, it's heartbreaking when you build this beautiful city and then, but
It's heartbreaking if it's yours.
it is, and there's still some beauty to it being destroyed, I guess.
It's a beautiful disaster, and then you get to
Exactly,
build it.
yeah.
Try it again.
Yeah, definitely. So here we've got Arcantos. So Arcantos is the hero of the campaign, and again, he's just looking a little bit more defined, he's got more detail to him. We can see him looking great. He's ready to go and tackle a whole load of adventures. And then on the right, you've got Athena from the Greek pantheon. And so, yeah, again, 2002 versus Retold, you can just see the level of detail that we've been able to bring in Retold. We wanted to include some animals for Jen.
Yay! And I'm loving this.
So you got the Trojan horse, technically, animal-like, but then we've
Animal
got
Close enough.
adjacent.
animal adjacent, and then we've got our goat and our doe, who are just, looking just fantastic in Retold.
I mean, I would pet all of them.
Slight upgrade.
I would absolutely pet all of them.
One thing our executive producer Tim loves is as the animals eat, they get fatter.
No way! You actually built that in?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
New feature in Retold.
Dynamic animals.
I love that.
Yeah. So we've got the behemoth here. Again, just looking so good in Retold, and
The
just
definition in those tusks and the fangs and all that. Oh my god,
just
that's
looking
incredible.
so good. We've got Cerberus here. So if folks watched our New Year New Age event, we actually recreated him in AR, sort of life, not quite true life scale. And then we've got the Sphinx as well. So we've got distinct visual upgrades, and it's just looking so good. Again, you play it in 2002, you think it looks great, you're on the technology of the time, but we've really sort of brought it up to date. 4K, ray tracing, all the models have been redone. We've added new details. It's just looking fantastic. So huge kudos. I had no part in this. Huge kudos to the art team. It's looking amazing.
And this, honestly, it is also not just the art, right? The sound was upgraded.
Yes.
All the other features is upgraded as well. And I do want to give kudos to Ensemble who created the original game. I'm a big fan of, and the game was already super fun. But honestly, the hardware at the time, there was limitation. It was the first 3D games that in the Age of Empires series. So people probably did not even remember that 3D game was a big deal at the time. And honestly, at the time, I thought graphics will never get better than this.
That's
This
what we
is
always say,
amazing.
yeah.
So, right. And
Seeing these graphics side by side, it's just a testament to how much we loved this game growing up with it, to just look past these awful graphics now, compared side by side. It's nuts. The one thing I want to highlight here before we move on is just how much they love the game, they love the community, and how much love they're putting into the creation of Retold. This doesn't feel like a huge cash grab. Are there elements of that, like the God packs and expansions, future DLCs and stuff? Sure. But that doesn't seem like the place it's coming from. It genuinely seems like this team is passionate about making Retold the best game it can possibly be for the fans, for the community. And these two team members did a fantastic job of really portraying that. Not just one time. They continued to come back to that point of topic a few different times throughout this entire interview, of just putting an emphasis on, we love the fans, we appreciate them, they're the lifeblood of what we do. It's just really cool to see that. It's really cool to see a game being built for the fans rather than trying to take advantage of the fans and trying to just take as much money as possible. No, having the intention of how do we make this the best game possible? Super refreshing with all these big studios and AAA games that just pump out a load of dog shit that sucks and costs so much fucking money. So I just wanted to really emphasize that. That's amazing. Love these two team members. Super fucking excited for the game. But let's keep rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it was
I get that.
great. But there were some limitation. For example, one of the features that in the original game, we noticed that people, when they play against each other, you can actually, most of the god powers, you can only use it once. So what ends up happening is people keep like, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save this for the right moment.
Oh, I-
But but what ended up happening is the match will actually end. And then they never actually
use
get
it.
to use it. But those are the coolest things that you get to do in the game. So what we are doing in Retold, as an example of new features we're adding is now god powers are rechargeable.
Nice.
So you can use it multiple times and strategically that like change how you think about how to use those. And it is like much more fun. In fact, we also added a new age called the Wonder Age. And during the Wonder Age, you would actually be able to use the god powers for even cheaper costs. So at a discount, so you get to use it even more. So god powers
More earthquakes,
everywhere.
more meteor storms, just more.
I'm into that.
yeah.
I'm very into that.
Pause. If you caught what he said there, he said in the Wonder Age, you can buy god powers or get god powers for cheaper. This implies that it's going to cost resources of some sort or combination to get god powers, multiple charges of god powers after the initial one that you get for free. I'm assuming that's still how it's going to work once you age up. Very interesting. So it doesn't sound like it's going to be a cooldown. Maybe there is going to be a cooldown, but then once the cooldown is off, then you can purchase it, or you got to purchase it and then wait for the cooldown. Perhaps just purchasing it allows the cooldown to reset to 0. Uncertain about that. But it seems as if it's not just a cooldown thing, so that you use, let's say, Earthquake, and then you wait 3 minutes, and then you can use Earthquake again. It doesn't sound like it's just going to be a free use. It does seem like you're going to have to use resources to get these god powers. Interesting thing to note there.
It's just chaos. Our designer, lead designer, Kristen, calls it the bacchanal of chaos. It's just at the end of the game, everything's cheaper. You can just go for it and just unleash everything you've got, and it's just
It's
so
super
much
fun.
Yeah.
Now, I know the game hasn't even come out yet, but did I hear that you might be
You
able to
heard a
talk about some of the future additional content and expansion? Please, pretty please, I want it.
Well, as you said, pretty please. Yeah. Okay, so there are going to be 2 expansions for Age of Mythology Retold, and if you pre-order our premium edition, those will be included.
Ooh.
So you'll get the game and the expansions. And we're not ready to talk about the second one yet, but we are going to tell you that the first expansion for Age of Mythology Retold is going to be an all-new Chinese pantheon.
Ooh.
And we're not ready to show it just yet, but we're going to tell you that it's amazing. It looks great. I think players are really going to love it. So that you can
I
get hold of that as the
can't wait.
first expansion.
Well, that's exciting because not only do players have September 4th to look forward to, September 4th.
Yep. Pre-order now, please.
But I think any player is always going to want more, and you all really view that, I'm imagining, as really a starting point for the game.
Oh, gosh,
And
yeah.
those expansions to continue to keep, as the kids would say, keep them fed. I think that's what they say. I don't know.
yeah,
I
I'm
would-
sure that's right.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
We like honestly, all our titles, for our fans that have been playing our games, they know that we like to think of our titles as evolving titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
really, like the launch day, September 4th is really only just a start.
Yeah.
We'll continue to update the game. We'll take feedback from our community, and then continue to keep improving the title. But since you mentioned September 4th and the premium edition, I do want to point out that like the people who get the premium edition will be able to play the game up to 7 days early. So they get early access to the game, get to like play it. So it is going to be fantastic. And in fact, the premium edition has more than just early.
Wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
Yeah.
They're not
More
more
is
than just like 7 days early access. They have the 2 expansion packs later on that will be coming. They also have the new Gods pack called Freya, which is new to the game. And also for the fans that remember the original, so like we have an additional pack that you can change the portrait of the gods to be the original classic look
You can go
as well.
retro.
So you can go retro. Just for the hardcore fans that they would love those. I highly recommend the premium edition.
Yeah.
It's like it is just really
it's
good.
great. There's so much good stuff in it. It's going to be really, really good.
So
And
all
early access, that's hard to
And
beat.
early access.
yeah,
hard to beat.
I'm no mathematician, but 7 days before September 4th means August. So that means players can play in August if they get the
Yeah.
premium edition. All right, I
Yeah.
love that.
More is definitely more.
More is
It
more.
really
I think that's like the banner. Of
More
this episode, right?
monsters, more chaos.
More graphics,
yeah.
more pixels, all of it.
More fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Emma and Ernest, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
And obviously, like, tell the team, like, great job. And I know players all around the world are excited to jump in
you. We'll
to
pass that
Age
on.
of Mythology. Yeah, awesome. September 4th. Let's say it.
September
September
4th,
4th, why not?
PC and console.
Yeah.
There you go. There we go.
I like how we get no marketing for Retold, and then out of the blue, there's just this explosion of excitement and content and features. So dope. Smash the like button if you are as excited as I am for Retold's release. Comment below if you've picked up your premium edition already. Comment below. I want to see how many of you are going to be waiting on the front lines to drop in some Sphinxes and some Anubites and some Tartarian gates on August 28th. For everybody else, thank you for watching this video. Hope all of this got you super hyped. Subscribe if you want to see more updates on Retold, as well as extended edition gameplay. And of course, when Retold gets released, some Retold gameplay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.